Hi, welcome to Kentucky Farm Bureau's Bluegrass and Backroads. Today we're headed down to Smith's Grove, Kentucky to visit with a furniture builder who looks at his furniture as functional pieces of art. Then we're going to visit one of the finalists in Kentucky Farm Bureau's Outstanding Young Farm Family Contest. And finally, we'll visit a brewer that ages their beer in bourbon barrels. We'll have all these fascinating stories and more as you travel with us today on Kentucky Farm Bureau's Bluegrass and Backroads. When Mark Whitley builds a piece of furniture, it's all about harmony. Many consider Mark's integrity of design pure art.
I grew up in a furniture shop, a cabinet shop, not many miles from here, and but I never thought I would do that for a living. It was just what I did, you know. It wasn't even a hobby. I went to college to be a professor, and after college, ended up back here in Kentucky, first to play music, and then to I figured out that I needed to be back in the shop. So about 9 years ago, I opened a furniture shop in Smith's Grove and operated out of a tiny space for about 3 years, and then I moved out here, out to the new place and built this house. Just this back is coopered with five separate pieces, so I'm using a spoke shave here to smooth out the round, going across the grain to smooth that out. Furniture is not just utilitarian. It can evoke all types of emotion in you when it's in your home. That's what I try to do with it. These need a good deal more smoothing. Not really sure how I'm going to do it. That's part of the composing. You figure it out as you go. Whatever looks right, feels right. I like for a customer drops something on the floor and has to get down on their knees, pick it up, and they happen to look up the bottom of the table. I want it to look good. When they're dusting it, I want it to be smooth all over and just be good to the touch. That's important. The other day I sold a rocker to a lady in New York. They'd sold through a gallery. This nice lady tracked me down and called me, and I could tell over the phone that she felt exactly the same way that I felt about that rocking chair, which meant that, you know, there's lots of really nice rockers out there, but the one that she connected with emotionally was the one that I happened to build. And so that's what's unique, is that everybody's, you know, we're building from the heart, and for me, it's like writing a song. You know, you write what you feel, and I just build what I feel. Sometimes the lumber kind of helps that along. You have a particular figure in a board, and so that becomes a certain spot on a tabletop. But sometimes, you know, I just wake up with an idea, and that's what I build that day. And so what makes mine unique is just the same thing that makes everybody else's unique. It's just built from the heart. You know, I was in the shop the time I was 4. I think 4 years old. I was in the shop, and Dad let me go through a lot of wood, building stuff, all kinds of stuff. Not much of it's still around. I remember I was 15, I said to Dad, I believe I'd like to build a canoe. And he said, okay. That's what he always said, okay. And then helped me get the stuff. I wouldn't let anybody help me when I built it. He helped me rip all the strips to build it because the boards were 18 feet long. But then after that, it was all up to me. I inlaid this little compass rose and I put the east and west backwards on it. Spent all this time burning in the letters and put them backwards. That's stuff you learn not to do again. It's all, a lot of it's just intuition, you know, just reading the wood, coming up with something that makes you happy to build. And so for right now, this is what does. And now my style will inevitably evolve. It does every few months, or at least every few years. No, I'm pretty attached to every piece. Once you live with a piece for a month or up to 3 or 4 months to build one piece, it kind of becomes part of the shop. And so when it leaves, there's definitely a hole. I think what makes furniture work and be a good piece of furniture is the same thing that makes life in general work, is that it's genuine. The design is genuine. The design is not forced. You're not adding a lot of flair. I have pieces in Manhattan. I have pieces in Chicago. There's pieces in Baltimore. They're marketed through my website, but mainly just word of mouth. There's a few galleries that sell my stuff, and I stay as busy producing as much as I can, but that's still only maybe 15 pieces a year. So you know, people kind of get in line and wait. You know, there's days when I put in 12 or 14 hours and won't realize it because, you know, you're really getting a good working vein. There's other days when it's hard. It's just plain hard to do it. It's dusty and it's heavy, and my shop is kind of cramped, but I love what I do every single day. There's no real bad days.